Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Thanks for joining me again. As always, my name's Tyler. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit that like button and that bell. Make sure you know when I'm making these uploads. I've been doing it consistently every week now since Apex Legends has dropped. Eventually I will branch into another game, but right now we're just building the base off Apex. So we're gonna jump right in. Today we're talking about Apex Legends and how to improve your aim. And these are just a few things that I do every game and every gameplay session that I have that I see an impact in my gameplay when I do these things consistently. So these are just a few steps that you could take to make your aim better in Apex Legends. Now again guys, these are just things that I do to help my aim out and to things that work for me. It very well may not work for you. Sometimes, you know, you just suck. It is what it is. But you know, I have a growth mindset, so I believe that anybody, you know, with enough practice, you really can improve. I'm not saying we're gonna make you Pangu, but I'm saying you can definitely put in the work and see that difference. Okay, so step one, we're gonna be always centering your sights. So use the left trigger or L1, whatever console you play on, and use that at the beginning of every single game and every single play session. The point of this is to find the center of your screen. It doesn't matter what you're aiming at. It doesn't matter if you're shooting at someone or you're engaged in a gunfight or not. You need to make sure that your eyes are being trained towards the center of your screen. The more you do this, the more you build muscle memory on when you start to shoot and you zoom in, your eyes immediately go to the center of that screen. So when you're looking around and you're looking at that broad landscape, you're seeing if guys are behind the tree over there or over there, you may not be using the center of your screen. You may be using the full frame of the screen that you're playing on. So when you zoom in and you find that center point, whether you're using the red dot or iron sights, it doesn't fucking matter. You just keep doing that enough until you naturally pick up the center of the screen every time you pull that trigger. Okay, step number two, use single fire mode. Any gun that you can use single fire mode on, do it. You need to train yourself to hit those shots without missing. You need to be able to trust yourself that without full auto, you can pull that trigger and pop those shots and get those hits. By always using full auto and you're not a laser beam yet, you're basically gambling on getting kills by using a quantity of shots instead of a quality of shots. So you can only obtain a quality and quantity of shots if you obtain them in that order. You have to train your brain and your hand-eye coordination, your muscle memory, to get quality of shots and then slowly speed it up until you can get all of the quantity at once. That's when you see Shroud, Pangu, any of these people, they aim in and it's literally a fucking laser beam and they hit every single shot in a 30-round mag while the target is moving because they train themselves to hit those shots. Now combined steps 1 and 2, using the left trigger, finding the center of the screen, and then using single fire as much as you can to make sure you hit those quality shots. Both those things combined is what's going to bring your aim to a place where you have those target transitions that are so crazy. It's YouTube worthy, viral worthy. You get 1 million likes on Instagram, this, that, the other thing. The combination of those things is what's going to bring you that skill. Slowly over time, you have to build it up, but that is what will bring you there. Okay, so step 3 is going to be learning the recoil of the weapons that you use. Now you need to use the same weapons as much as you can so you can match the recoil of those weapons. And what do I mean by that? You should be able to feel out when you pull that trigger where your aim is going to go and then correct with the analog automatically. You can practice this in the training grounds, you can practice this in game obviously, but the training grounds is probably the best place to do that, and then obviously in game over time it'll naturally come. But if you really want to speed up that process, you need to go into the training grounds, pick a couple targets, and just learn the recoil of the weapons that you're using. I highly recommend using the same weapons over and over until you master it before you move on to the next one. It'll be easier for you to get muscle memory and build up that coordination if you stick to one at a time before just trying to learn every single recoil for every gun all at once. Okay, the last step that I'm going to give you guys is going to be using the practice range. And I don't mean just going into the practice range and blowing a couple shots down range and saying you're ready to jump into a game and go in. That works if you're really good and you just need to get your hands a little warmed up, that's fine. But if you really want to see an improvement in your aim, you need to practice, and you need to practice well. Now what do I mean by that? these are a couple things that I do when I go in. So I'll go in, I'll get the couple guns that I want, usually an R3O run and maybe a Spitfire, or honestly I suck with the Wingman and Longbow single fire guns like that. So I will pick those up. I will use the weapon stations that they have as basically markers, and I will allot myself a set amount of magazines that I can use for a run through. And let's say I'm going to go to the weapon station all the way left, and then I'm going to go to the center weapon station, and then I'm going to the right weapon station. I will have to hit 8 targets and destroy them within those three sets. So I will go to the first one, I'll hit 2 targets, I'll go to the middle one, I'll hit 4 targets, and then I'll go to the right one, and then I'll hit 2 more targets. Now when I do this, I'll only give myself 1 or 2 magazines to do that. Then I will also time myself start to finish. By doing this every single time, I'll be able to see if my aim is actually improving, because I'm using a set amount of bullets to get those kills per se on these targets, and I can see my time decreasing. Every second I chop off my time when I do that run through like that, I know that I am target transitioning faster, and I'm acquiring the new target faster, and I'm capable of moving from point A to point B, and then target acquisitioning again even faster than before. And that's just one thing that I do to see if I'm actually making progress, or to see if, you know, where I need to work on. Because maybe when you're stationary, you can target transition and hit 1, 2, 3, 4 targets and bang them all out. And maybe your weakness is when you go from point A, bang out 2 shots or 2 kills, and then go to point B, now you struggle with reacquiring the target, and then you know that is the place that you really should be working on your aim. Once again, guys, thanks for joining me on this channel. I just had a few quick tips on how to improve your aim there. These are the things that I do that I see an improvement in my game. And the biggest thing with it, guys, is persistence and consistency. If I'm going in and I'm going to play an hour, 2 hour, 3 hour session, I will dedicate the 15 minutes in that training session to practicing my shots. Then every single game I go into, I will be finding the center of my screen. I'll be using single fire for the first game or two just to make sure that I can actually hit my shots. Then I have the confidence to go in and I can hit anything that I want, you know, within reason. I'm not Shroud, but I will do very well for me. Use it as you will, but this is what I do. This is the improvements that I see by doing these steps. If you follow them, I guarantee you will see improvement over time. You just have to stick with it, and you have to keep doing it. Once again, guys, thanks for joining the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button if you like this. Leave some comments down below. I'd love to hear what you guys think. How do you improve your aim? Do you disagree with me? Do you think that we could be doing something else? I'd love to hear it. I really I'd really like to use anything that I can to make my game better. So just feel free to let me know, and make sure you hit that notification bell on my page as well. This way you get alerted every time I drop a video, even though I've been doing it pretty consistently every week now. Have a good day, guys. Take care.